Yo, what's crackalackin' mackin'? Today I bring you a review for the Twisted Metal TV show, streaming now on Peacock. This I didn't have a lot of high hopes for. I did stream and binge watch the entire series all at once. There is 10 episodes in the entire season for season 1, and I will say that I pretty much enjoyed the show for what it was. I was a little off-put by it at first, especially with Anthony Mackie and his character, the way he portrays his character. It's in the beginning, it's really, really goofy and over the top compared to a lot of his other performances.
Hey there! Yeah, they know me. I'm here all the time. A virgin? Oh, I got a big package for you. Some vultures wanted it real bad, but not bad enough, you know what I mean? 91 gives Evelyn the squirts. You're such a lamb.
New San Fran? It's been a month already?
Time makes a fool of us all. What's your name, slugger?
Abner.
Abner? Really? I mean, it's a nice name. You just don't meet too many. Anyway.
But as the series went on, starting in episode 3 and beyond, he toned it down quite a bit. And I'm not quite sure if it's more so that he toned it down or if I started getting used to the way he was acting as the character. He portrays a mailman in a post-apocalyptic world. The apocalypse starts and kicks off in 2002. This show in present day seems to take place in 2022. And during this time, Anthony Mackie they call him the milkman, where he essentially delivers milk, but he does other delivery services as well between communities. They call them communities in The Walking Dead. They have communities kind of like this one where they call them like New Chicago or New New York or New San Francisco, whatever the case may be. And so Anthony Mackie's character is a delivery person who delivers goods between these different communities. And it's definitely interesting. I haven't played too much of the actual games for Twisted Metal, so I'm not familiar with the story as it is, or if there's like a campaign or story mode, whatever the case may be. I am familiar with Sweet Tooth and his character because he's the iconic Twisted Metal character. I do know that there's also some other iconic characters like the Dollface and Mr. Grimm and whatnot. In this series, we don't get any kind of reference to Mr. Grimm. However, we do get a reference in the final episode of Dollface, and Dollface is actually in this show a community of people wearing like doll face masks, and it seems like they're trying to tie that in together with Anthony Mackie's character, with him having a relation with the leader of the Dollface group. They kind of left it as a cliffhanger at the end of episode 10, and if they do a season 2, they might pick up and kind of have that be the main story arc of season 2. So if they do go that route, I do hope that there is a season 2. I will say each episode has little tidbits coming in from the PlayStation game, like customizing your cars, or even in one episode, Anthony Mackie's like L1, R1, square, triangle, across, and all this. It was really cool, and up, down, left, right, and all that. So it was pretty cool to see that. But you get a little bit of other tidbits, like with customizing your cars, car fights, and whatnot. But I will say, episode 10, the first 15 minutes of episode 10 is legit, straight, Twisted Metal as you see it in the games. And it was really fun to see that, and really cool how they were able to pull that off. So I really enjoyed episode 10. If you do subscribe to Peacock, it is worth getting all the way to episode 10 to see the big budget kind of car fight scenes with multiple cars in it. Sweet Tooth, he actually has a bigger part in this story than I imagined him having. And by the end of the series, he actually does set his head on fire.
It's time, Stu. Light her up.
So that's really cool to see, and I really enjoyed seeing that. So they brought that into the show. it does start off a little goofy in the beginning, but it gets better. Overall, I would give the entire show maybe a 6 or 7 out of 10. I would recommend watching it, especially if you're a fan of the Twisted Metal series, because there is a lot of fan service. I do hope that they do a season two. I'm actually looking forward to a season two. But if you want to see me do like an episode breakdown, go ahead and leave it in the comments section below, so that way, I'll definitely be willing to do an episode breakdown. If I get a lot of people who comment and like this particular video and get it in. Anyway, with that being said, I didn't want to go into too much spoilers here. I know I went into a little bit spoiler territory with my review here, but the writing could have been better. The Anthony Mackie's performance shouldn't have been so goofy, but I get it. He was trying to do something different with this character, but Will Arnett actually voices Sweet Tooth, and I didn't even recognize him as the voice of Sweet Tooth, but he did perfect in that role. We have Thomas Hayden Church, who is a very popular actor, and for me he's most notable as Sandman in Spider-Man 3. But he did really good with his character and the way he portrayed his character, and he's kind of a bad son of a bitch. I'll say that much. I won't go into any further details than that. Him alone and Sweet Tooth alone, I would definitely recommend this show, because I'd say their performances were even a lot better than Anthony Mackie's. And then we have Stephanie Beatriz, who I know her from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So that's where I recognize her from, and she did pretty good in this. But I feel like the performances that Thomas Hayden Church did and Will Arnett did with his voice, Sweet Tooth, I feel like they were off the chart. Anyway, that's my review. Let me know if you want to see an episodic breakdown. Go ahead and like the video if you liked it. Share it with your friends if kind of on the fence, or if you have a friend that's on the fence about seeing the show. Send this over to them so they can kind of get a taste of what the show is like. Anyway, thank you for watching, and catch you on the next one. Deuces, my juices.